Patty Ann Brown, and you are in the strategy room. Immigration reform is a hot-button issue early in this primary season. A number of GOP candidates have weighed in on the discussion, some favoring the idea of a path to citizenship that would involve paying a fine, but with costs for legal immigrants to enter the country skyrocketing into the tens of thousands, critics have questioned whether a fine could be high enough to deter more illegals from coming into the United States. So here now with reaction, we have Democratic strategist Joe Lestingi and Republican strategist Adam Goodman. Thank you to both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Adam, should there be a fine? And even if you believe there should be, is it realistic to implement?
Well, I'll tell you, the whole discussion about immigration, the southern border, has become a metaphor for everything that's not
working right in this country today. And for all those who have applied for citizenship and gone through the rigors of having to earn citizenship, the idea that we're going to make it easy, there'll be an easy path, is really rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. I don't know what the dollar amount, the proper dollar amount is, but I do know that we've got to be able to communicate to all those who are here legally, who went through a very, very rigorous process of becoming citizens of this country, that there isn't now a new set of rules in play that's just making it as easy as crossing a border.
You know, Joe, Adam brings up some good points there. Not only logistically can you have this fine collected, but also about not giving an illegal immigrant a financial advantage over legal immigrants who, first of all, have paid tens of thousands of dollars to enter the country legally, but also, as Marco Rubio pointed out in the debate, some of them faced long delays, up to 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem we have with our immigration system in general. I mean, it's extremely expensive to become a citizen of this country, and maybe that might be part of the problem, because let's look at it this way. You're going to put fines on the undocumented immigrants that are here, but if the fines are too high, then why would they want to go through that process, or even could they go through that process? And then if they came out the other end and they had to spend all their income on the fines, now they're just living off the welfare side of the state now that they're citizens. So it is a catch-22 here. The whole system needs to be revamped. And so maybe we should be lowering the bar for the legal immigrants as well at the same time, so that there is no comparative advantage for one way or the other. We just make it an easier path to citizenship. Now, I am very happy to know that finally the Republicans are discussing this issue. If you recall, just 10 years ago, this was a non-starter. They sort of ate their own over this issue. So I welcome them now onto the path of citizenship debate. It's nice to have them on board.
Well, yeah, Adam, as Joe's pointing out, in the past, and still with some politicians, just the words pathway to citizenship amounts to amnesty.
I think it bothers people, and I just want to respond to the last comment. I mean, this is not about Republicans and Democrats. As Americans, we have singularly failed to come up with an immigration policy that makes sense, that's legal, that's fair to everybody, and that protects the interests of this country. And we saw recently, of course, some of the perils of what happens when we are not enforcing laws that seem to make common sense, with the terrible tragedy of Kate Steinle up in San Francisco. So please don't make this a partisan debate. This is an American debate about a national imperative for us to get this right. And it's not that Republicans are suddenly talking about it. I think Americans are talking about it, and they want answers, and they want it now.
The irony in this, though, is that we threw off the English rule because of these born-in monarchs in England, and we created a nation where everyone was equal. I didn't have to pay a dime to become a U.S. citizen. I was just born here. So, and I'm sure, Adam, I don't know how you became a citizen, but I'm sure you were born here as well, as a lot of us were. And we were born with that right. But now we're asking people to pay tens of thousands of dollars. This is something we need to fix. This is not the way that this system should work, and it's causing these undocumented immigrants to come into the country.
Well, the path to citizenship must be earned. It must be deserved. It's not something that's automatic. I'm sorry, I disagree with that.
So
it was automatic for me.
Well, during the first GOP debate last week, this topic, immigration, came up quite frequently. In fact, according to Google Trends data, it was the fourth most searched topic during the GOP debate. Adam, whose stance on this did you like the most?
Well, it's pretty obvious. Donald Trump, who I think is now becoming the great American therapist. He's allowing Americans to get something off their chest they're really bugged about. He's using the southern border as a metaphor for things that aren't working in this country, and people are kind of tired of it. So I think it's going to, it's the immigration issue, which is something we obviously have to deal with, is really symptomatic of a system that just is not working. And I think it's going to not only be a part of the Republican nomination debate, but needs to be a part of the Democrats as well, because this is something we've got to figure out and fix.
So you like Trump's idea of building the wall?
Well, I think anytime you put together the words Trump and building, your imagination goes wild. I think we need to do whatever it takes to secure and defend our borders. If we don't have that, then immigration law, frankly, doesn't make any sense.
Joe, as Adam mentioned, these crimes that have been committed by illegal immigrants have gotten a lot of attention, and, for good reason. But at the same time, we have other people who are here, just came here to have a better life. I'm just going to give you the last word on this topic.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. These crimes have gotten a lot of attention. Unfortunately, though, they do not represent the massive group of undocumented people here who are just here to have a better life. Just for example, my great-grandparents, they came over here for a better life, and that's the core that drives them. There are a few exceptions out there. It's like me saying that Dylan Roof out of South Carolina represents all legal gun owners, because he doesn't, and that's not a fair criticism. There are a lot of people here trying to better their life for their family, and here's the reality. A lot of these undocumented immigrants here, they have legal children now. 49% in some states, 49% of kindergartners are Hispanic, and they are the sons and daughters of undocumented workers. So we do have this growing class that we're gonna have to deal with. So while the border does represent this metaphor of what's wrong, and I do agree with that statement, we can use that as a metaphor. In reality, these people aren't going anywhere. We are going to have to confront this and bring them in to be productive members of society as a whole. And I think that's important for us to do as a nation.
Joe Lestingi, Adam Goodman, thank you both for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And you can check out foxnews.com for more on this developing story. I'm Patty Ann Brown. Thanks for watching.